Good morning guys and girls, and welcome back to another video, and today is Wednesday Weekly Gold episode 36. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so this week has been absolutely pretty damn good. I'm very tired at this moment in time because I've been working like a bloody mental man. But all in all, actually been quite good. So that being the case, let's get on to the farms. Okay, so the first farm that I did was the Volatile Fire farm, and this one was done in the Mount Hyjal, and pretty much all you have to do is make sure that you've done the quest line for this farm for the Firelands, like the entire zone one. And basically it opens up a load of fire elementals which pretty much instant respawn when you kill them. So all you do is run in a line, fly back down, they're all respawned. BAM! There is a few others that I did and kind of forgot to take footage because this would be like an exceedingly long if I broke down everything that I'm doing. I managed to actually farm up the Volatile Water in the Twilight Highlands, standard. Volatile Life, which I picked up using my herbalism. Very easy to do because it's just one of those passive things while you're farming up herbs. And then I went over to the Vortex Pinnacle and just ran in there, rounded up the mobs, burned them down. And that's how I got my Volatile Air. There used to be a time where I would go into Zul'Gurub and then pretty much just kill the Hive Queen and then get my Volatile Life and Air that way. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be working anymore. So I've had to make do with my lesser farms. If you want to know about those farms for all my volatiles, I did a video a while back on how to farm volatiles, and they cover all the best farms in how to farm the volatiles up. The next load of materials that I farmed up was the Whiptail, which is in Uldum, and that's where you just follow the river down and then go up and around. This is relatively easy to do, and this is like probably one of the best farms going because at the moment it's still around about 40,000 gold an hour just by doing that. I don't know about you guys on your realms, but I like this farm like a lot. If I can't think of anything different to farm, I will farm up Whiptail because I know it sells fast and I make an easy 40k. Okay, and with other herbs that I farmed up, I went over to Vashir, and that was to farm up Ajara's Vial. Obviously you're watching the footage now, so you're like, oh, he farmed up Ajara's Vial. It's relatively easy to do. Just go over to the Shimmering Expanse and run around like a lunatic picking up Ajara's Vial. It's one of those ones where, to be honest, actually, no, screw it. All Cataclysm herb farms are pretty good. Besides the one in Deepholm, they are terrible. For some reason, they're just valued at like Cruddle, Ruin, terrible. But that being the case, that leads me on to my next herb that I farmed up this week, and that was Cinderbloom. And Cinderbloom was one of those ones where I very much hate farming it. So whenever I see one when I'm doing my other routes in Uldum or Twilight Highlands, I will just fly down, pick it up, and as I go along. Now I found that I could farm up the amount that I wanted of Cinderbloom, which was 64 Cinderbloom, but in the hour that I did the Volatile Fire farm. So just run around, and while you're doing that, just farm it on your herb list. You'll be able to get your Volatile Fires and your Cinderbloom at the same time. If not, then you'll just have to run around the Sulfuron Spire and you'll be able to get your Cinderbloom. That's pretty much where I get mine. Okay, so the next farm that I did was the Pyrite Ore. And Pyrite Ore is relatively easy to farm up. You can farm it in Twilight Highlands, Mount Hyjal or Uldum, and Deepholm, but not recommended. The best place that I find is Uldum, and that is literally running around the edge of the map at the top half and going just back and forth pretty much like a windshield wiper. And I needed, I believe it was 72 Pyrite Ore. I think you know what I'm making. So I gathered all that up, and it's easy to do. I managed to gather up a lot of volatiles doing this. It managed to take me around about an hour and a half to get the pyrite ore that I needed. So that being the case, you're looking at around about 40-ish pyrite ore per hour with this farm. Now obviously pyrite ore on some realms goes for a lot, sometimes it doesn't go for a lot, depends on your realm, so that's one of those ones where you would have to check your auction house just in case. You can just buy it cheap and save yourself like a lot of time of farming pyrite bloody ore. Now the last thing that I farmed was albino cavefish, and that has given away what I'm creating, which is the Vial of Sands. Now the albino cavefish can only be farmed up in Deep Home on the northwest area plateau in the little swamp marshes, and it's really easy to do, really easy to do. You just need fishing, you really don't need anything else, and all you do is just fly around and fish in the pools. All you need for the sandstone drake or the Vial of Sands is 8 albino cavefish. So 2 pools would give you enough albino cavefish in order to create your deep stone oil that you need for your Vial of Sands. So that being the case, let's get on to the breakdown. What you need for the Vial of Sands is, I have a list. Pyrite ore, you need 72. Volatile fire, water and air, you need 120. Volatile life, you will need 128. Along with that, you will need 128 Whiptail, and Ajara's Veil and Cinderbloom, you will need 64. Albino cavefish obviously is 8 because we've just covered that, and you will need a gold investment to buy all the materials from the vendor in Uldum or in Big Keech in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, who sells you the other things that you need to buy, which is the gold investment of 29,000 golds worth per Vial of Sands. So that is literally just raw gold. You're just going to buy those materials from that vendor. You can have a reduction in cost, but unfortunately not many people will have the reduction in cost unless you're like insane with your reputations, like me. But that being the case, it will cost you around about 29,000 gold in order to buy all those materials. Now, what you'll be crafting with all of these raw materials are true gold. You will need 12. You will also need to be creating 8 flasks of titanic strength. So the flask of winds is, we will need 8, and then you will need 8 deep stone oil. Or along with that, the ones that you'll be buying from the vendor is 8 sands of time and 1 Pyrium laced crystal vial. I wish that they would implement something where you can actually craft these just flat out and negate the entire 29,000 gold investment, but unfortunately that's the case. Your volatiles and your pyrite ore is going to be used to make your true gold, and obviously your herbs are going to be used to make your flasks and the deep stone oil with the albino cavefish. Okay, so looking on EU servers, we are currently on my realm. We're looking at 237,000 gold for 1 Vial of Sands. That is not accurate, as someone has actually just put that for that. It's roughly around about 137 instead of 237. Someone must have just went, haha, let's try and see if we can get more gold for the Vial of Sands. Now, it has dropped for like over the past couple of days, and the EU mean is 91,000 gold for this mount. Now, obviously, it's probably better in your interest to focus on the Mechaniers chopper, but if you've got a stockpile of those, there's no point in actually crafting any more. You might want to just diversify and head on the Vial of Sands, or if not that, head upon your Panther mounts. Now, obviously, we're doing this to actually build up a stockpile of loads of different types of mounts that we can sell on and make loads and loads of gold in the long run instead of the short term. And on US realms, they are currently selling for around about 85,000 gold. So US guys, I pity you because it's quite cheap. You should move over to my realm, it'd be a lot easier. But that being the case, yeah, that is how I craft the Vial of Sands. I always farm up the raw materials because I cannot be bothered to just buy them off the auction house and do the crafting like that. I don't feel like I've achieved anything. I just enjoy the way of just farming it up and then crafting that one item, and then I'm just like, yeah, I put a lot of work into this, and then when you see the gold return onto it, you kind of value it a bit more. But other than that, I do actually have a question for you guys, and that is about the noobs guides that I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, and I've seen a few comments. What type of noobs guides would you like to see in the future? Because I'm going to do one covering the recipe for the Vial of Sands. I'm also going to do one on how to get exalted with the Order of the Cloud Serpent and get your panther mounts, and any little tips and tricks to actually craft your panther mounts for even cheaper. Mechanized Chopper, I could always do how you can get exalted by the Vanguard, but really it's just take your tablets off and just run into the pit of Sauron. Literally, and just farm the Battered Hill. You'll get the rep and become exalted in like 8 runs. You'll be fine. But I would like to know what you think on what type of noobs guides you would like to see, because I know quite a lot and a decent amount of tricks. So I'm happy to share the information. Just bung it in the comments right down below. But that being the case, I will be continuing with the noobs guides. I can't guarantee that it's going to be every week, because as we're getting closer and closer to Christmas, it's just going to become manic. But I am considering keeping that series going, because I really do enjoy doing that, doing like breakdowns and all that stuff. I really do enjoy it. But that being the case, guys, that is everything for the week. Now, I hope you like this video, guys, and if you want to see more like this, please feel free to give this video a like. And as always, have an awesome day, guys.
Yeah.